Welcome back to another episode of Teespring Design Tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a design in the mom niche. I went to Etsy.com, searched for some mom t-shirts and came up with this particular design which has sold over 40,000 products and it is currently the best seller on Etsy for this particular niche. We are going to use this design as an inspiration and recreate this design without needing to have any kind of designing skills. I'm going to use some apps like Over, Canva, Placeit, and Vexels. So these are the four apps that we are going to use to recreate this particular design. We're not going to copy it. We are going to use this as an inspiration because we know it is selling well. If we can recreate this particular design and then drive traffic to the design, then obviously we are going to make a good amount of sales. That's the whole idea behind taking some inspiration and recreating it. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at some of the designs that I have created on Over and other apps. So this is the design I came up with using the Over application. So it is very simple. All I have used is a graphic image and wording in the bottom. As you can see, it is almost similar to what we have here. I mean, it is totally different, but altogether it is the same concept. You are having some wildflowers in the top and text at the bottom. Here they have a minimalistic kind of a design. Here we have some kind of a brush design going over here, some kind of a watercolor flowers, and then in the bottom we have a brush kind of a font. So if you see here, you can also use another font. This is also a font which you can pair it with this design. So I'll walk you through the steps that you need to follow to create these kind of designs without any skills. Another design, this is on on a lighter color. Always make sure to have some kind of a background. Do not clear the background and have a transparent background, because you need to know how the final output would be. So if you're going to put this on a t-shirt, it is going to be on a white background. So that's how you have to plan everything before start creating any design. The second one is on a darker background. It is also something similar, raising wildflowers. It doesn't matter if it is wild or not, people will have no clue about it. So here this is on a darker background. This is for people who would prefer to wear some kind of a dark t-shirt, so I think they can use it. Also, if you notice, I have pink colors or purple colors on my designs. That is because if you go to this particular section, you'll find all colors, at least the t-shirts, are in pink. So that's the reason we need to use some kind of pink or girlish kind of a color, so that people they tend to buy it. So we see, though we have a white background or a black background, we have some kind of purple or pink going in the design, so which is most likely to convert. So that's the reason. Now let's go to Canva. So here I have changed the wordings a little bit. Raising little flowers, I just found these cute little flowers and I thought, okay, probably we can try this out as well. So maybe I can put this design on a product and see if it is working or not. Sometimes you have to change things a little bit and give it a try. If it works, then it's good. If not, no problem at all. We can go ahead and again change it. Then using Placeit, I created altogether a different design with a different font style. I think the font style goes well with this kind of a design. So you have to modify the font based on how the design looks. Here it's more like a flat design, so I used a handwriting kind of a font. Here if you see, it is also a curvy design, looks like a flower, and this font also gives something like a flower. So I used this particular font. And here if you see, I have used a font which is a brush font, because this is more like a watercolor design. So that's how I chose the brush font. And also you need to make sure the color goes with the design. So as you can see, I just picked up the pink one. You can also choose the orange one. Here also I just use all these colors of the flowers in the top and going to Placeit. So this is more like a minimalistic design. And moving on, the final one is the Vexels t-shirt designer tool. So here I created another design, and here it is also a very simple, raising wildflowers. In all these applications, all I did is I picked up a graphic and then I paired it along with the text. So here I went. So once you go to this application, I will leave a link to all these applications down below in the description box. Once you go to the Over app, go to the graphics section, and here this you can change it later on. I would recommend to use 4500 by 5400. You can go to the layers, section and click on this canvas, and you can change the size. You can always do that, that's not a problem. And once you have used the required size, then go here, go to the graphics, search for wildflowers or flowers, and pick something from the list. So whatever interests you, you can pick it. So here if you see, they have used individual flowers and then they have clubbed it together. You can also do the same thing. You can pick some individual flowers which are in watercolor and then put them together. For this example, I just took this whole bunch. It was available somewhere. I just used it. All you have to do was, once you find the required font, see this one, I just clicked on it and it will come to your canvas. Then you have to resize it, and that's it. That's how you bring that design. Then you go ahead and click on this box to add a text box here. After you have added the text box, go and click on the text box and go to the font section. Here you can change the font. In my case, I went here, click browse fonts, and I searched up for brush fonts, and it gave me a list of brush fonts. From that I picked one font which I liked, and this is the one. If you see here, it is called Salt Brush Rough. This is the one I picked up because I felt this goes well with this design. Moving on to the next one, here also I just searched up for flowers and I chose this one. You can pick whichever you like, and then add a text box and choose a font that goes well with this. In this case, I chose this font and I felt this is going well with this particular design. Also, as I said earlier, make sure to have a background so that you know how the final output will be. Then when you go to Canva, the same procedure. I went to the element section. Here I searched up for flowers, and from here I picked up the second one in the second row, and here I used another handwriting font which is a flat font, and I think that goes well with this particular design. I think this is pretty simple and straightforward. I need not explain how to add a text box and all, but that's how you come up with this particular design. And moving on to place it. So for place it, I just went to place it website. I clicked up on one design on the design tool. Then here I went and I searched up for flowers or plants, I think. So after I searched up for that, it gave me a list of options. I chose the first one, and here I picked a design that font that goes well with this design, and these were the default colors. You can always go ahead and change it. If you ask me which particular software I am using the software called Affinity Designer. It has a one-time fee. It is not a recurring fee like Illustrator. So I chose the Affinity Designer product, and that's what I'm using to create all my designs. I use freepik.com so that I can take some of the pre-made designs and I have to modify it. But for Placeit and Vexels or Canva, you do not have that problem. You can just use it as it is. But with respect to Freepik, you have to modify the design. You cannot use it directly on a print-on-demand store. But with Vexels or Creative Fabrica, you can directly use the designs without any changing or making any changes to it. So I feel there is more flexibility on Affinity Designer, so that's why I'm using that tool. But you need to have some kind of designing knowledge to play around with that tool. But here you literally need not know anything. All you have to do is go search up for the design, click, and then add some fonts. And this definitely works, guys. So if you look at this design, actually when you compare all these designs that I've created, I personally like this particular design. If this goes on a light gray t-shirt like this, or even if it goes on a white t-shirt, it is going to look good. So I think these designs will sell well. If you have a good audience coming from the parenting niche, from your Instagram or Pinterest account, then you can drive traffic to your Teespring store with these kind of designs which are proven to sell well. You are just taking the designs which are already working. So go and choose any of these tools and start creating your designs. So I think that should be it. That's how you create designs. That's the Teespring design tutorial for today, and you do not need any kind of designing skills whatsoever. That's all. I'll see you guys in another video.